What is going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Thrive Forever Fit Show. I'm your host, Jay Nixon, and I'm happy you're here. Today, we are going to talk about one of my favorite topics of every new year, and it is not New Year's resolutions. But before we jump into that, as always, guys, I always encourage you, if you are not already part of my Wellness Lab Launchpad group, it's my free Facebook group, please go over there if you're on Facebook. Wellness Lab Launchpad, ask for access. We'll let you in immediately. It's more of this. It's more motivation. It's more inspiration. It's more disruption. It's more knowledge. It's more tools, resources, accountability, and support. It's everything you need to have your best 2020. I promise you that. That leads me to why we're here. The mission of this podcast is to disrupt the way you're thinking, inspire you to think differently, and give you the tools and knowledge to transform into that new way of being so you can have everything you deserve and desire. It's that simple, right? When I say it, it sounds freaking simple. And it is. You just got to take some action on that stuff. So today we're going to talk about one of my favorite topics of 2020, my favorite topic of every new year, and it's not New Year's resolutions, like I said. So I've got this system that I teach to all my clients. If you're part of my program, if you're one of my coaching clients, you know this. We do this every year. We've been doing it for the last 5, 6, 7 years. I've probably been doing it for close to 10 years myself on a personal level. This year, I flipped it up a little bit. This year, I added some elements. I changed it a little bit, and I think it's going to have more power. F that. It's not gonna, I know it's going to have more power this year than it's ever had before. And like I said, I've been doing this on a personal level with my friends and family for a really long time. So we don't do New Year's resolutions. I've been in the fitness game. I've been in the personal development game for a long time now, guys. And I know one thing to be true. New Year's resolutions fail, and they fail often, and they fail early. The statistical analysis shows, and hell, I don't even know how they equate all of this. But if you look, I think it was the Journal of Psychology did a review a couple of years ago, and it showed that about 8% of New Year's resolutions actually come to fruition. 8%. There's no one listening to this podcast, watching me on YouTube right now, that would do anything if they knew the rate of return, the possibility of winning was only 8%. And that's why people should not do New Year's resolutions. Listen, if you've already got a resolution, let's try to kick its ass. Let's try to do it. I mean, I'm all for setting goals and then going after them and getting them. But the reason resolutions fail is just because they're weak by the nature of how they're structured. And they've failed so many times. If you guys have heard me at all, if you've listened to me speak at all, you know I'm a big advocate on keeping the promises you make to yourself. And that's the reason New Year's resolutions don't work, is because year after year after year, some of you guys are 40, 50, 60 years old right now, and you've broken promises to yourself for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 years. And so therefore it gets easier and easier and easier to break promises after you do that. So the best way to build self-confidence, the best way to build strength is to keep promises that you make to yourself. And if you've broken that New Year's resolution promise over and over and over and over and over again, why in the hell are you going to keep it this year? Right? There's no basis. There's no backing that makes you want to stand behind that resolution. So I'm going to give you some new strategies. I'm going to give you some new tips. I'm going to give you some new tools today that are going to help you. And who cares that we're already into 2020? You can implement this now and use it for the entire year to build and stack upon. Because I'm using this same system for the last 10 years, and I stack upon it every single year. And I'll explain a little bit more of that in a minute. So what we do is really simple. And if you've already done this, if you know my system, if you know my words, my whys and my wows, and I've just changed that this year. So if you're new, you've never heard me use that terminology before. But if you've heard my word of the year system before, stay with me here, because I've done some modifications to it. I've added some things to it that I believe are going to bring more value and bring more sticking power for you, because it's not a foolproof system either. You still got to do the actions. You still got to hold yourself accountable. You still got to stay committed to your goals and your must and your wows for the year. So what we do, guys, instead of the New Year's resolution, is we pick a word of the year. And I've done this for the last 10 years with my friends and family. New Year's Eve, we sit around a fire, we have a glass of wine, we talk about our successes of the previous year, and then we pick our power word for the upcoming year and why we chose that word. So my words over the past have been words like connection, just various things, community, action. Like, I mean, for the last 10 years, I can't even remember them all. But what I do is I use those words and I stack upon them every single year, right? And so what you do is you pick a power word, and the word is really not the strength of it. Like, it's not the word itself that has the power. It's the feeling and the meaning and the emphasis that word gives to you in your life. So my word in 2020 is inspired warrior. I will not do anything in 2020 that I am not inspired by. And when I think of the phrase inspired warrior, that's how I'm going to approach every situation. I'm going to approach every situation, every opportunity that I get a chance to get into in 2020 with the inspiration of a warrior spirit. That's what makes me think of. So when I think of inspired warrior, it makes me want to go. It makes me want to take action. It gets me focused. It makes me excited. So it's not the words itself. It's not inspired. It's not warrior. I mean, those are really, I mean, you could do lion and roar and action and momentum. And like, people use all kinds of action words, but without the power and the meaning behind it. When you say that word, when you think about that word, does it make you want to jump out of your chair? As you can see, I'm a little more, if you're watching me on YouTube right now, you can see I'm a slightly bit more animated now that I've kind of triggered my word. Your word should be a trigger for you. It should be like this. I say inspired warrior. There's a snap that goes off in my head. It's like a trigger that puts me into a state of wanting to take action, wanting to take inspired, motivated, positive action. That's what your word needs to be. Now, if you're watching me on YouTube, I'm going to use some visuals. If you're not, I'm going to make this very clear. You're going to understand what I'm doing. If you work with me and you're part of my program, we use what we call our blue card system. So I have a blue card, and on the top of the card, I write my word of the year. Right now, this card simply just says the word word on it. But you would put your word on the front of the card. You would keep this card somewhere where you could see it at all times. Now, I do two things. I put my word of the year on my card, and then I also take a picture of my word of the year, and I keep it in my phone so that I can always recall it right now. So if you guys are watching on YouTube, you can see very clearly. Well, it's flipping around, but I have the word inspired warrior written on my card. And then on the next slide, you can see, I'll get to this in a second. I won't even tell you now. I'll just wait on it. So word of the year on the front of the card. And remember, it's the power word. It's a trigger is all it is. It doesn't matter what the word itself is, but the trigger that the word has to initiate is the important piece of the puzzle. Got it? Okay. And then on the back of the card, this is a new element that I added this year, because here's what I noticed. I noticed that people were just going through the motions. People were writing down a word. They were writing down the word momentum. This year, my word's going to be momentum. I'm going to create momentum in my life. And then I noticed when March came around, this person had no momentum. This person had no emphasis. This person was just kind of going through the motions. And I realized the reason why is there wasn't a why. There wasn't a strong enough why behind the word. And so this year, what we're doing is something a little bit different. On the top of our card, we're going to write what our why is. Why are you doing this? Why are you in the game? Why are you living? Why do you want to live an optimal life? Why do you want to live to your maximum potential? What drives you on a daily basis? Why does the word momentum? For me, why does the word inspired warrior get me going? So what I did is on the top of my card, you won't be able to see it because it's on my phone, it's tiny. I wrote my why at the top of the card. Why do I get up every day? Why am I doing all of this? Why am I doing podcasts? Why do I have my studio? Why do I have my coaching clients? Why am I writing books? Why am I speaking? Why am I doing everything I can to positively impact the world? That drives me. And that's got to be strong. If you want to do that kind of stuff every single day, it's got to be within you. Can't be some BS little word that's like, momentum. I'm going to create momentum this year. That won't work. So when I think of the word inspired warrior, man, does it make me want to do stuff? Does it make me want to get off my ass and go tackle the world? That's what your why's got to be associated to and connected to. Your word, your why, and then below that, we write what our wows are. Now, I used to call these must, because as Tony Robbins says, we don't get our wishes, we get our must. If you must have something in life, you'll get it. So I used to make people write down 3 must on the back of their card. This year, I've changed that a little bit. I want you to write down 3 wows, or at least 1 wow. And what I mean by wow is, when you accomplish this, you're going to say, holy wow, wow, that's amazing, right? That's what I want. I want that feeling inside of you. So on the back of my card, I've got several wows written down. Some of them are big, giant, audacious goals. And I believe in life, you've got to cast that vision that is so big that it makes you have to go after it with reckless abandon. If I cast little tiny goals for myself, I know me, I'll crush them. And then what? So I've got some momentum building goals in there, some goals that I know I'm going to get early and often in 2020. And then I've got some goals that I am going to have to bust my ass for to get to by December 31st of 2020. But that inspires me, right? Because my inspired warrior, that's triggering inside of me. It makes me want to go. My why is strong. So if my word is powerful, my why is strong, I'm going to get my wows. So words, whys, and wows. That's what I want you guys to do in 2020. I want you to pick a word of the year. I want you to share that word with me. If you follow me on social media, just send me a note. Put it on my page. Send me a DM on Instagram or on Facebook. I want to know. I want to support you. You want a card to put on my board at my studio? I'll make you a card. I'll take a picture of it. I'll post it on social so you can see it. I want to help you in 2020 get to where you want to go. So your word on the front of the card. Then I want you to think about your why. Why are you doing this? Why are you in the game? Why do you want to win? Why do you want to be more successful? Why do you want to lose the weight? Why do you want to make more money? Why do you want to have more powerful relationships? Why? You got to know why or you won't get it. If your why is strong enough, you'll find a way, guys. And then below that, I want you to write a wow, at least one wow. And I'm talking about a wow that blows your socks off. When you hit this, you are so pumped. You're like, holy shit, does this feel good? And I want you to tap into that feeling. See, I'm already trying to tap into those feelings like when I hit these wows in 2020, I want to tap into that feeling of how it's going to feel so I can recall it, so it can get me going and motivated and build that fire within me to make me want to move and go. Here's what I know about this whole system, guys. Here's what I know unequivocally about this entire system. This only works. See, we're pack animals. Humans are pack animals. Since the beginning of time, what they've found out is that people performed better and at a higher level when they were part of a community. So what you've got to do is you've got to get people around you involved in this kind of energy, this kind of action, this kind of belief system where you can talk about your words, share your words. If you work out at my studio in Palm Desert, our words are on our board year round. Every day you come into my studio, you can look at the board, you can see your word. You can see your friend's word. You can see my word. On the back of that is our wows and our whys. There's power in that. You walk into my studio and there's a certain aura and a certain power that comes from those words and whys and wows off that board. You've got to create that in your own space, in your own place. Okay? And the best way to do that is by community and support. That's the only way it works. We perform at a higher level if we're part of a community that holds us accountable and supports us. This is why I'm such a big advocate of everybody joining my free Facebook group, the Wellness Lab Launchpad, because I will support you. I will hold you accountable. I'll give you tools and resources. I will be a part of your winning system. And everybody needs a system. Everybody needs a support group. Everybody needs an accountability group. It is the key to where you want to go in life. Nobody gets anywhere on their own. I have people tell me all the time, like, I need to do this on my own. I've got bad news for you. I've got horrible news for you. You won't do it. Guys, I'm a stone cold savage killer. I don't need a lot of bullshit in my life. I don't need a lot of pats on the ass, a lot of pats on the back. I'm just a doer. But I need support and accountability. I need a community of people around me that help me get further faster. And I assume even if you're like me, if you're a stone cold killer, if you're somebody who just goes and does, boom, you're ready to go, you still need a community. You'll get further faster with a community. You'll get further faster with support and accountability. If you try to go this isolated route, I have clients tell me all the time, it's one of their default settings. They're like, I need to see how I can handle this on my own. You won't. If you could do it on your own, you would already do it, right? You'd already be there. You wouldn't be listening to this. You wouldn't be where you are today. You'd be where you want to go. And I doubt very seriously, I'm not even where I want to go. Most of the successful people I know aren't where they want to go. They're happy with where they're at, but they're blissfully discontent with it. They want to go further. They want to go faster. They want to get to another place and space of excellence and greatness because they know there's more to life than what they're living right now. And if the case was true that you could do that on your own, you would have already done it because there's nobody in your way. But the bottom line is this, you won't. You need community. You need support. So stop this isolatory nonsense of thinking that you're going to get there on your own. Thinking you're going to pave the way solo, thinking you're going to go back country with your pick and your axe and you're going to carve the path to your success. It will not happen. You might get down the road a little bit, but without community and without support, going to be a very, very challenging road, my friends. And that's why we've created something as special and as unique as the Wellness Lab Launchpad. It's a free group. It's free. It won't cost you a penny. If you're an investor, if you're somebody who believes you need to invest in yourself to get to the next level of where you want to go, I've got my paid group. I've got the Thrive Forever Fit program where you get access to me on a daily basis. We coach you, we teach you, we help you, we hold you accountable, support, accountability, meals, mindset, everything. But the Wellness Lab Launchpad is a great place to start. It's a great place to start. It's a great place to get that community and that support that you need. But you've got to take the action. Like, I can't come to your house and force you to do it. Just like this words, whys, and wows. If you'll do this, if you'll start doing stuff like this, this is the start. This is the game changer for where it is you need to go, what it is you need to do. This is going to get you to that next level of life. Get yourself around people that are doing the things that you want to do in life. Get yourself around people that are being successful already, that have a success forward growth mindset. That is the key to life, guys. Words, whys, and wows. Can we do it? Will you do it? I hope you will. Let me support you. Let me hold you accountable. Let me help you get to where you want to go in 2020. That's the goal. That's the mission of this. So the disruption piece of today's podcast is this. No more resolutions. Let's just start taking actions, and let's use a power word, a strong why, and some mind-blowing wows to get us where we want to go. The inspiration is this. The inspiration is there's a better way. The inspiration is there's more out there for you. You just got to desire it and believe you deserve it. And the transformation piece is just this. It's all right in front of you. The tools have been laid out. Today is just a tool session. You can add this to your toolbox. You can join Wellness Lab Launchpad. That's adding something else to your toolbox. Fill your toolbox with things that will help you get further faster. Things that will help you get what you deserve and desire out of life. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I know I loved it. You can tell how passionate I am about this. This is one of my favorite things. It's something that we need to keep top of mind all year long so that we can stack upon it and build the momentum we need to build to get where we want to get at the end of 2020. Guys, I love you. I appreciate you listening to my podcast. I appreciate you listening to me rant. I appreciate you just letting me be who I am and say what I need to say, and you guys absorbing it, soaking it in. And all I ask is this. If you love this cast as much as I love doing it, if you love listening to it, if you like the tips and the tools and the strategies, share it with somebody that you know that might get some benefit out of it. Encourage them to join Wellness Lab Launchpad with you. Remember, it's about community support and accountability. Join with a buddy. Get around people who are doing more out of life. They want more out of life. They deserve more out of life. Let me be a resource for you. That's all I can ask. Guys, until we chat again, have a beautiful rest of your day and be awesome to each other. All right. Love you. Bye.